On June 11, 2007, WWE fans witnessed one of the most shocking moments in wrestling history, Vince McMahon's limousine exploding in a dramatic way. But just a week later, the storyline was abruptly cut short due to the tragic events involving Chris Benoit. This sudden end left fans with a burning question: who killed Vince McMahon? There are many theories and possibilities for this, and the answer may lie in the build-up to this iconic explosion. In the weeks leading up to the explosion, Vince McMahon's behavior became increasingly erratic and uncharacteristic. After losing the ECW championship to Bobby Lashley at One Night Stand, Vince appeared on Raw looking visibly distressed and mentally unstable. He interrupted John Cena, displaying paranoia and confusion, and made bizarre decisions such as ordering impromptu title defenses and awkwardly interacting with other superstars. The June 11th episode of Raw was billed as Vince McMahon Appreciation Night, coinciding with the WWE draft. Throughout the night, Vince received a mix of sincere and mocking tributes from wrestlers and celebrities, further highlighting his deteriorating state. The show culminated with Vince walking through the backstage area, passing by concerned superstars, and entering his limousine, which then exploded in a shocking and dramatic fashion. But what happened immediately after the explosion? The immediate aftermath of the explosion was nothing short of chaotic and intriguing. On the following episode of SmackDown, the show opened with a parental discretion warning, signaling to viewers that the content might be intense. The episode featured a somber 10-bell salute in honor of Vince McMahon, a traditional tribute in wrestling to show respect for a deceased individual. The atmosphere was heavy, and the WWE superstars stood solemnly at the entrance ramp, adding to the gravity of the situation. This was followed by various WWE personalities sharing their thoughts and memories of Vince, creating an emotional and realistic portrayal of the storyline. Transitioning to Raw, the episode began with an apology from Mick Foley. Foley apologized for his previous harsh words about Vince McMahon, acknowledging the gravity of the situation and expressing regret for any disrespect he might have shown. Randy Orton then accused Foley of rigging the limousine, and other wrestlers like Booker T, Bobby Lashley, and John Cena added to the mystery. A federal investigator was introduced, who began interviewing superstars throughout the night, adding a layer of mystery and seriousness to the plot. The finger-pointing and blame game started almost immediately, setting the stage for a complex and engaging whodunit mystery that had fans eagerly tuning in to see what would happen next. The fan reactions were a mix of confusion, concern, and intrigue. Many fans were genuinely worried, with some even calling local hospitals to check if Vince McMahon had been admitted. The storyline was so convincing that it blurred the lines between fiction and reality, leading to significant media coverage. News outlets scrambled to confirm whether Vince's death was real, contacting emergency services, WWE headquarters, and even the FBI. This unprecedented level of realism created a buzz that extended far beyond the wrestling community. Moreover, the storyline had a tangible impact on WWE's business. The company's stock price dropped by 1.8% following the airing of the explosion, reflecting the uncertainty and concern among investors. This real-world consequence highlighted the storyline's effectiveness in capturing attention and generating discussion. But just as the storyline was gaining momentum, it was abruptly cut short due to the tragic events involving Chris Benoit. This sudden end left many questions unanswered and theories unconfirmed, adding to the mystique and intrigue of the storyline. What could have been one of the most memorable angles in WWE history was left incomplete, forever shrouded in mystery. So, who could have been behind the explosion that killed Vince McMahon? Theories and speculations ran rampant among fans and wrestling insiders alike. One of the most talked about moments was Paul London's smile as Vince walked past him before entering the limousine. This seemingly innocuous act led to widespread speculation that London might have been involved, adding an intriguing layer to the mystery. Was it a subtle hint or just an unintentional reaction? The ambiguity only fueled more discussions. Another popular theory revolved around a potential McMahon family feud. Some fans believed that the explosion was part of a larger plot orchestrated by either Shane or Stephanie McMahon, or perhaps both, to take control of WWE from their father. Given the complex and often tumultuous relationships within the McMahon family, this theory had a lot of traction. It would have made for a compelling storyline, exploring themes of power, betrayal, and family dynamics. There was also speculation that the explosion was connected to the storyline involving Vince McMahon's illegitimate son. This angle eventually played out with Hornswoggle being revealed as Vince's son, but it was initially intended to be a more serious and dramatic storyline. The idea was to introduce a new character who would shake up the McMahon family and WWE's power structure. This theory added another layer of intrigue to the mystery. The storyline was also expected to explore a power struggle within WWE, with various factions vying for control of the company. This would have involved multiple WWE superstars and added layers of intrigue and drama. The explosion could have been the catalyst for a major shift in WWE's power power dynamics, leading to new alliances and rivalries. This theory suggested that the explosion was just the beginning of a much larger and more complex storyline. But what were the original plans for this storyline? What twists and turns did WWE have in store for its fans? According to various sources, the storyline was set to introduce Vince McMahon's real-life brother, Roderick McMahon, as a new character. This would have added a new dynamic to the storyline and potentially revealed family secrets. Imagine the drama and tension that could have unfolded with another McMahon entering the fray. Another rumored plan involved Linda McMahon. It was suggested that Linda would be arrested on the Vince McMahon Memorial episode of Raw, as her DNA was found on the limousine. This twist would have added a shocking and emotional element to the storyline, further complicating the McMahon family dynamics. Vince McMahon had also recorded a will that was supposed to be played on the Titantron. In this will, he would announce that the WWE Empire would be handed over to his illegitimate son, Ken Kennedy. This revelation would have set the stage for a major power struggle, with Kennedy being pushed as a massive heel. The storyline was rumored to involve a feud between Ken Kennedy and Triple H, with the WWE Empire at stake. This feud was supposed to culminate at WrestleMania, creating a high-stakes and dramatic showdown. However, it's important to note that these details are based on rumors and hearsay. WWE is known for changing plans and leaking fake information to surprise viewers. Former WWE writer Court Bauer mentioned that the storyline was an evolving process, and no finish was ever truly set in stone. The illegitimate son angle was eventually salvaged, but with Hornswoggle instead of Ken Kennedy, leading to a much different and less impactful storyline. So, what happened next? How did Vince McMahon address the storyline's abrupt end? What was the real reason behind the explosion, and who actually killed Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon made his unexpected return to WWE television on August 6, 2007, 2 months after the infamous limousine explosion. His return was highly anticipated, and fans were eager to hear his explanation. Vince addressed the WWE universe, revealing that the explosion and his supposed death were all part of an elaborate ruse. He admitted that he staged the entire event of his death. This revelation was both shocking and somewhat typical of Vince's character, blending his real-life persona with his on-screen antics. But why did Vince feel the need to stage such a dramatic event? He explained that he wanted to test the loyalty and affection of those around him, to see who truly cared about him. This explanation added a layer of complexity to his character, showcasing his insecurities and desire for validation. Vince's return and the subsequent explanation provided closure to the storyline, but it also left fans with a sense of what could have been if the storyline had continued as planned. It's clear that it was one of the most ambitious and controversial angles in WWE history. The abrupt end due to the Chris Benoit tragedy left many questions unanswered and theories unconfirmed. However, Vince's return and explanation provided some closure, revealing that the explosion was a staged event orchestrated by Vince himself. So, who killed Vince McMahon? The answer, as revealed by Vince, is that no one did. The entire event was a carefully crafted storyline designed to test the loyalty and affection of those around him. While this may not be the dramatic conclusion fans were hoping for, it fits perfectly with Vince's character and his penchant for shocking and unpredictable storylines. The Vince McMahon limousine explosion remains a fascinating chapter in WWE history. It showcased the lengths to which Vince was willing to go to create compelling television and the impact of real-life events on scripted storylines. The storyline's abrupt end and the subsequent revelations added to its mystique. Vince McMahon was always pushy for crazy stories and ideas. Some people even called the Vince's idea of pushing Roman Reigns bizarre, but just like the limousine explosion, the rise of Roman Reigns is another testament to Vince's vision. But Roman's journey wasn't as simple as it seemed from above. How? You can watch the video on the screen for that.